السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Ramadan is coming to an end. I hope that we are making the most out of Ramadan. Today we are continuing our series إن أريد إلا الإصلاح ما استطعت, but in particular we are still talking about amana. We are still talking about trustworthiness, and it's such an important quality for the agent of change. And today we are going to cover a subset within amana, which is keeping secrets and having good assumptions about others. So let me start by going with you through this hypothetical example. Have you ever told a person, like who is close to you, some sort of a secret, and then such a person revealed that secret? So what would it feel? It feels like betrayal. It feels like he or she did break the trust. It feels that would ruin the relationships between the two of you, at least. So if we look at our teaching in Islam, Islam is teaching us that keeping trust is a true sign of a believer, that the believer can never break his trust or her trust. And look at the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ is saying, whoever conceals the faults of a Muslim, or conceals a Muslim, but it's well understood that this is talking about concealing the faults of a Muslim, Allah will conceal his faults on the day of judgment. So what you know about someone is an amana. So you always keep it as a trust. So if you expose others, do you want Allah to expose you in the day of judgment? And the other complement of amana, which is thinking good about others. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم. Allah says in Surah Al-Hujurat, where you believe, avoid lots of negative assumptions, because part of it is a true sin. Allah didn't say all of it, but part of it is a true sin for sure. So negative assumptions lead to hatred and lead to division, obviously. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did forbid us from negative assumption. So always look for a good explanation. Always try to find excuses for your brother or your sister, rather than jumping to conclusions which would entail thinking bad about your brother or your sister. And finally, there is a danger that has been highlighted by the Prophet ﷺ of negative assumptions in particular. Beware of suspicion, for suspicion is the most false of speech. The hadith narrated in Bukhari and in Muslim. So before assuming anything, ask yourself, do I have a proof? This is critical. You need to have a proof. Or this is just my own assumption. And many relationships, for you to know, many relationships are destroyed because of bad assumption. Not because of actions, just because of false assumptions. And obviously, we are not too close before asking ourselves, okay, how can we, in a very tangible way, raise the level of keeping secrets and so on in Ramadan? So, action plan. Number one, keep whatever is told to you private. SubhanAllah, each and every one of us would have multiple interactions daily with others. And someone who is close to you may tell you that so and so, this is a secret, or I don't want anyone to know about this. The moment that you know this, then for sure, like, put it in a very, 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 very deep well that no one can reach its depth. And do not even mention it, do not repeat it, and so on. So that's extremely important. The second thing here is always give people benefit of doubt. Many people would have problems and roadblocks and hurdles that you may not be aware of. So if someone is doing something bad to you, try to think many times about excuses. Try to think, why have they done this? And give them always the benefit of doubt. التمس لأخيك ولو 70 عذرا. And the third one is stop spreading suspicion. Do not spread suspicion whatsoever. Never share rumors, never gossip about others. And more importantly, if someone else tries to involve you in negativity, stop yourself, distance yourself from this entire thing, especially in the month of fasting and the month of Siyam. So, in general, trust takes years to build, but seconds to break. Protect your trust and protect the confidence of others in you. And more importantly, if you are facing any of the problems related to trust, please devote this time, the time of Ramadan, to fixing yourself completely and to making sure that you are going to finish Ramadan, inshallah, not only successful in the direct angle of ibadah, and inshallah all of us freed from hellfire, but most importantly, return back all the trusts of people and make sure that you always work on yourself. If you see that you have this quality, which is extremely bad one, of revealing secrets or thinking bad of others, think many times before continuing that very same path after Ramadan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to truly transform in Ramadan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us bearers of the message, to make us sources of goodness and guidance for everyone who is to deal with us all the way till we leave this earth. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this Ramadan a success for all of us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.